with Tao. Living with mysteries, life begins to change. We can live mysteries, we can become one with them, we can lose ourselves in those mysteries, we can have a totally different existence. The very quality changes. Indeed, the very quality of life changes the moment you learn to live with mysteries, but nothing is solved. Because nothing can be solved, and all that appears to be solvable, all that appears to be knowable, is only because we are taking it in fragments. If we look at the whole, then nothing is knowable. We just go on pushing the mysteries in the background. All our questions are temporary. They appear to be answers only for the lazy mind. If you have a penetrating mind, you will come upon the same mystery again and again. Only the mystery has been pushed back. Just behind the answers, the question is hidden. You ask a question, but the same question remains. You have simply created a facet for an answer, just a curtain over the mystery. If you can see the distinction, then from the very beginning, religion takes a different shape, a different color, and a different view. It begins to bring change in your life. The whole perspective. Life is there, it has been a mystery, and will always remain a mystery. Whatsoever we do cannot demystify the mystery. The mystery cannot be demystified, because to be mysterious is the very quality of it. That life is mysterious and not something accidental. That's why it is said, we are not aliens nor as strangers join. We are bound to each other by a causeless force. When we meet one another, it is not accidental. It is the mystery that is revealing itself. It is not something which can be separated. Nothing can be separated in life. It is the very life itself. So, to me, the more you enter into the mysterious or mysterium, into the mysterious, the more religious you become. If you try to solve the problems, nothing can be solved. A really religious person will not say that he believes in God. He will not say God exists. These things seem to be very superficial. They seem to be like the answers given to a particular question. Someone asks you, do you believe in God? Or God exists? These are the answers. A religious man cannot utter such profanities because it is profane. That God is. It is such a profound phenomena, such a mysterious thing, that to say anything will be profane. So, whenever someone asks Buddha whether God exists or not, he remained silent. You are asking a thing which cannot be answered. You are asking something which cannot be answered. Not that there is no God, but to answer such thing will make it answerable. Then life will become a problem, because life will become a problem which can be answered. But religion is not a problem, it is to be lived. Then the mystery disappears. So Buddha said, don't ask me any metaphysical questions. Buddha had told his monks, you can ask any question, but do not ask metaphysical questions if God is or not. Questions can only be physical. Physics can answer them. Metaphysical questions are not there. They cannot be, because metaphysics means mystery. It is a part of physics. All the techniques that from time to time we explain can help you to go more and more deeply into the mysteries, not into the knowledge. It is not knowledge that is to be discovered. It is mystery to be lived. But we are all interested in knowledge. There is a beauty of living the mysteries. That is why Sufism or religion is called mysticism. The word we use, mysticism, for religious path. Or you can look at it in a different way. These will help you to unburden your knowledge, your questions relating to knowledge. They are not to help you to increase your knowledgeability. To say that a religious person is knowledgeable is erroneous, because knowledgeability is a barrier in the path of spirituality. The door is then closed for the mystery, because if you want the answers to your questions, the more you know, the less you will be capable to penetrate deep into the life. The more you know, the less you will be capable of penetrating into life. The original wonder must be recaptured, because in a childlike sense of wonder, nothing is known and everything becomes a mystery. When Jesus was asked, who can enter the kingdom of your Father? He says, one who is childlike. He looks at everything with an awe, with wonder. But you have forgotten that childlikeness. If you move into the mystery, the deeper you move, the deeper the mystery becomes. Then a moment comes when you say that you don't know anything, and this is the right moment. A Buddha says, I know nothing. I have no knowledge. I simply operate through consciousness. Whatsoever comes to the mind at that moment, it is explained. Now you have become meditative when you can feel a deep ignorance when you become aware that you do not know anything, you have come to the right balancing point from where the door to the mystery can open. Meditation makes you aware that I know nothing. When the time comes in, if it needs to be revealed, it will be revealed to me. If it is of benefit to anyone, it will be revealed to me. You have become meditative the moment you come to know, come to experience, come to realize that you know nothing, you do not know anything. That is the moment of meditation. When you can feel a deep ignorance, not the ignorance that you know, ignorance against knowledge. When you become aware that you know nothing, you have come to the right balancing point from where door to the mystery opens. If you know, then the door closes. If you are ignorant but fully alert, in the so-called world, when you say somebody says you are ignorant, means you are unconscious. Ignorance means unconscious. But if during the moment of ignorance, you are totally alert and aware that you do not know anything, the door suddenly opens. The very feeling that you do not know anything, door opens. So whatsoever I am explaining to you, take these techniques, these methods, not as a knowledge, but simply help you to be more and more innocent. Ignorance, it is said ignorance is bliss, because in a childlike ignorance, childlike innocence is nothing else but ignorance with total awareness. Child's innocence, childlike innocence means conscious ignorance. If you can use your knowledge to be ignorant again, then you have used it rightly. This is the only use for the scriptures, use of the scriptures, of all the knowledge, of all the Vedas, all the scriptures, is to make you childlike again. The whole purpose, that's why Jesus' statement is very relevant. Now, during the just yesterday, a Hindu festival, Ganesh Utsav, finished. 9 days, they prepare a dissolvable statue of Ganesh, and for 9 days the prayers are conducted, the sermons are given, and on 10th day, with the ceremony, the sculpture is to be submerged in the ocean, in the river. You have learned everything, and then you dissolve it, whatever you have learned. You have forgotten, you offer it. So this is the symbol of innocence. And then that innocence is the aura that radiates through the face. If you are cunning, you are knowledgeable, your face will not have the radiance, the aura. You look at there is a constant aura of awe or wonder. This is innocence, symbolic of innocence. You see it on the face of the child. In Zen, you are asked to learn something. You have learned it. You have gained it as a knowledge, but it has not become part of you. It has not grown into you. It will remain like a plastic plant, which will never wither, which will remain as it is, but no flowers will blossom on it. Then in Zen they say, whatsoever you have learned and the time that you have taken to learn this art, be it archery, be it Tai Chi, be it Kung Fu or anything, you have to learn it in all its proficiency very diligently. Then you forget about it for some time. Then slowly and slowly it becomes part of you. Then it evolves out of you as your own growth. And that is what is called awakening. That is what is called awakening. It is not knowledge. And it is an embodiment of innocence. So all the scriptures are there to regain your childlike innocence again. So during this festival, you learn for 9 days, and on 10th day, you submerge. So the sculpture, the statue is symbol of learning, and then you dissolve it. Just recently it happened. By mistake, some of our messages that were in Messenger got deleted. So at one point I said, is there any way to recover these? But it can be recovered, but not as the messages, but in a different format. Then I realized these messages were meant for a specific reason. You had made a dish because you are hungry. You had made a dish and it was necessary for consumption at that time. You have eaten it, you have enjoyed it in that moment, and then it is finished. Because you have made it, you know the art. You can do it again. So when you begin to learn to live with consciousness, consciousness assumes the form of messages, and these messages, through the WhatsApp, through the talks, you share it with the people. You do not need to preserve these. When again the situation comes in, you have made a particular dish for this moment. You consumed it. And when the next moment comes in, you can make it again because you know the art, the culinary art. When you know the art of explaining something in a particular situation, you don't need to repeat it again, the same word, because you cannot enter the same river. Life is a river. It is constantly rivering. Whatsoever I am speaking today, it cannot be repeated back again, because neither I am the same. So it is recorded. You can listen to this recording. But the same cannot be repeated. But Christians are waiting for 2000 years for Jesus to be reborn, because it is said that I'll come back. Every master says, I'll come back. So you know the master as the physical being, the body, but he is consciousness. Consciousness, when it manifests through someone, it is always there. Moses says he used to baptize the people through water standing in the river Jordan. And he used to say, he who comes after me is mightier than I, and he shall baptize you with fire. Fire rises from below. Water falls from above. So the initiation, baptism with fire, it is easy but not long lasting. Baptism with fire is more potent because it starts from the below, from the lower rungs to the higher. And this is how the life is, because you are at the lower rungs, lower level. So from there you have to rise. So the scriptures are there for you to unlearn the process of learning, to unlearn. And when you unlearn everything, then you gain your childlike innocence. You are once again innocent, and this is the way you can begin. You remember, first and the foremost requirement is, when the moment comes in, you realize that you know nothing. And there is, with that, a kind of grace comes to you. The moment, as long as you feel that you know everything, there is tension within you. You are not relaxed. And you want to unburden whatsoever you have learned. You see a post, you see a photograph, you are now ready to share it with someone, and you want to do it share it on the social media. When it is there, you have learned something, but you have to analyze it so that it becomes a part of you. It can bring transformation in you. Whatsoever you have read has not brought any iota of transformation in you. And because you want answers, and if you move into the mysteries, the deeper you move, you will realize the deeper the life becomes, deeper the mystery becomes. And a moment comes when you realize that you know nothing. And that moment is the moment of total innocence, the childlike innocence. Jesus is referring to that moment when, after going through the mysteries, you realize that I know nothing. After knowing that I know nothing, but you know a little bit and you claim that you know a lot. After knowing everything, you come to the point when you realize that I know nothing. You have learned the art of culinary. After having graduated from the Culinary Institute, you realize that the field of culinary is so vast, so vast that you know only an iota of it. And knowing an iota of it, does it mean that you know everything? No chef knows the culinary art in totality. He knows only a fragment of it. So after that you realize that the entire science of the art of culinary cannot be known. The same thing if you are learning music, the more you become proficient in music, the more you enter into, you realize that you have not known the music as yet. You have not known the music as yet. You have just known the ABC of music. Now, then you enter into the mysteries of the musical realm, and you realize that still you are ignorant as far as music is concerned. And out of that, unless this moment comes in, your music will not have any transforming effect on the person who listens to it. This is the secret. So, and at that moment, you enter into the realm of meditation, when you can feel a deep ignorance within him. When you feel a deep ignorance that you have not known the music as yet, you are beginning to learn, beginning to know. So knowing is always in the beginning. It never reaches the goal. The field of music, the field of culinary is so vast. The deeper you go into, you realize still you have miles to go. You have to know more. You have to learn. You have simply learned an iota and you consider it that you are an expert in that field. Yes, you have known the art of culinary, but you have not known the entire field of culinary. You know, you have beginning to understand the musical notes. You have begun to understand the qualities of different spices and how to blend it, how to blend different combinations of it. And by blending different combinations in different quantities, you create almost a new preparation. There are 7 notes. By arranging the notes, each time when you arrange the notes in a particular sequence with a slight variation, with slight gaps, you create a totally new composition. But can you say that you are all knowledgeable in music? You are simply beginning. You can say that I am yet learning, and that time the mysteries of music opens its doors for you. You start going deeper and deeper into the mysteries of music, mysteries of the field that you are in, be it culinary, be it music, be it anything else. The moment after this happens, only after learning knowing the entire scripture of music. 3 years, 4 years you have learned the art of acting. But when you come on to the stage, a different script is given to you. You have to practice what you have learned at that time. The situation is different. The scene is different. So the stage is different. You have learned how to modulate your voice, how to create the gaps between the different notes, because you want to create a certain amount of effect on the listeners. And that is very, very important. The very purpose of music is not a performance, but to create an everlasting impression, to bring about a transformation in the audience. Why are you singing? Why am I talking? To impress you? No. My purpose is not to earn the money. Whatsoever comes by way, sometimes or never comes in, no complaint, because that is not the goal. The goal is through these talks, through these messages, through these live streamings, to create the childlike innocence once again in you, to bring about, to set the process of transformation in you. The same thing should be for the musician or for a chef. When I take cooking class or I explain how to enter the basics. The basics is there are different things in it. How to first and foremost understand the spice, the notes in music, different spices, their inner qualities, their waving, and how these are blend with different things. How do merges into re, how it, after merging it emerges back again, how the effect of a particular note is amplified, or a particular percussion instrument is raised, because you are going to create a certain kind of effect onto the listeners. I am going to blend, a chef is going to blend to create a particular dish. He has to know how to blend, in what quantity each spice is to be blended, what is to be added, what is to be deleted, and the kind of a taste he is trying to bring for the food lovers. He has to be well versatile. He is experimenting. And he is so versatile in experimenting that he can create the new dishes. A musician creates a new musical, each time musical composition that is done for the movies is different. Just using the ordinary instrument or the voice modulation, a totally different kind of composition is used. What musical instrument have to be used for this particular song, and in what variation? That's how, with 7 notes, infinite number of tunes are created. Enough for now.